Yeah, so this is actually a really quick one. Okay, this is a really quick segment. So as you guys remember, De'Aaron Fox, you remember that guy? He recently signed with the Spurs. He's kind of a no name, you know. He's not important. He's not important. But one thing that he did say that really stood out was during a press conference, and we went over this before. This was like a few weeks ago. But what he brought up was Blake Wesley, right? He brought up how he really thinks that Blake Wesley, you know, plays hard, and he's somebody that comes in that's pretty good. And I've brought up time and time again that I think that if it came down to keeping Blake or keeping Malachi and we had to make that decision, I personally would keep Blake Wesley, right? I would keep him not necessarily because I think that he has more potential than Malachi. I actually don't believe that. I think with Malachi's shooting ability alone, he actually has more potential in the NBA to be a consistent force for a team. But with Blake Wesley in particular, you know, obviously he has the athletic ability, and you know he's very energetic, right? Great defense, or I would say really good defense. Maybe we shouldn't go into the great category, but you know, I would rather keep him because I think he fits with the team a little bit better. He fits with our identity, and the fact that De'Aaron Fox is someone that's very quick and very fast. And I think that if the Spurs go into the direction possibly of like a coach like Taylor Jenkins, that he could really take advantage of that speed that they have. And Blake Wesley coming in right after De'Aaron Fox sits would actually be pretty lethal, right? It would be pretty nasty. I mean, even if you played him just a few minutes a game, you're not losing too much defensively, and you're not losing too much as far as keeping up that speed. And I thought that this season he has definitely improved when it comes to holding on to the ball, some of his decision making. Is it still kind of weird at times? Sure. But you know, that came with the territory. The Spurs knew that he was going to be a work in progress when they got him. But I wanted to show you this because I thought that this was cool. So as you guys know, that the Spurs have actually picked up his $4.73 million, right? So that means that he will be with us this upcoming season. And we have this post that was on Instagram from Spida, and he says, "Big summer coming, my boy Blake Wesley." So I really do think that De'Aaron Fox, this is what's kind of a big deal about this, in my opinion, okay, is De'Aaron Fox literally just got there. All right. Can someone tell me? I don't know if I've seen it. I don't think I've seen it because I try to keep up with everything. Has Blake Wesley had connections with De'Aaron Fox prior to that? You say Spider? Yeah, Spider the Fox, my bad. Has he had connections with him prior to this? Because if this is the first time of them meeting, and this is how you feel about him being a seasoned veteran at this point in his career, he can sniff out the good ones from the bad ones, right? No, just in the practice gym. Yeah, and De'Aaron Fox, this is what I was going to say. De'Aaron Fox loves him a gym rat. And Blake Wesley has already had an impact on him for him to give him, because I wouldn't just take this one Instagram post and just be like, oh, okay, well, look at that. Just take this. He has brought him up in press conferences on how he feels about him. So this is one of his favorites. So here's the thing. I think that as a player, Blake Wesley fits with what the Spurs have going on and what direction they want to go in, or what direction they could potentially go in, right? I think he fits. But number two, I think he fits because our second star on the team loves him. That's in and of itself might be enough for you to just keep him around, right? Now, obviously, he still has to perform. He has to bring the defense or whatever. But I think that it speaks a lot to Blake Wesley's character that he's been on the bench this entire season with a coach that has, and we talked about with how he didn't really know how to utilize Sohan either, but with a coach that didn't know how to use Blake Wesley, so he just didn't use him at all. And the fact that De'Aaron Fox is adamant on how much he likes Blake Wesley just shows what type of locker room guy he is, right? How low ego he is. That's a big deal to me. That's actually a big deal to me. I know that we looked through, like, even when we went back and we first drafted him and we started looking back on like some of his past stories. I believe it was in, and if I'm messing up the story a little bit. I'm sorry, but I believe it was in college in which he went to the team. Right, he got on the team, and they were like, "Wow, you're really good. We're going to go ahead and start you." And there was already a point guard that was starting for them for a while at that point. And I remember Blake Wesley, some type of interview of him talking about it. And he was like, I felt really weird about it, right? Like I don't know if he said exactly he didn't like it, but he felt, it sounded guilty, right? For taking that starting role, right? And for him to come in and not be like, oh yeah, of course I'm better. Of course, I'm a future NBA player. Of course. Yeah, I should take this. He felt weird about it. And it was actually that point guard that started talking to Blake and helping him and saying, no, it's okay. So I think that he always had like really good, locker room guys around him. And that has helped him develop into the player that he is as well. And it also helps that his parents were like, what was it about Blake Wesley's parents? Gosh, dude, it was so long ago when we went over this stuff. Wesley parents, were they like a principal or something? I don't remember. Let's see here. Yeah, AI tell us. What were they? Blake Wesley's mother, Leslie Wesley, is on the South Bend School Board. His father also resides in the area. Derek Wesley runs his own State Farm insurance agency. Okay. So it was his mom then. I just know that they were pretty strict on him. Here, his family helps. Yeah, this might have been the article we went over, funny enough. Or one of the articles we went over. His family helped him on and off the court. And this talked a little bit about his upbringing. You guys should check it out. Apparently, Sports Illustrated doesn't want to work right now. But if you guys are interested at all, just look up Blake Wesley parents Sports Illustrated, and it'll come up. But anyways, all I want to say is I think that's really cool. I think that's neat. I think that it shows what type of person he is. And I think that's a big deal, right? And another thing too, when I say I think that he fits culturally, being real with you, at times, I like Malachi a lot, right? But at times, I question it, right? Like even when we had the whole Mr. Freeze thing, if you don't know what Mr. Freeze was, it was basically a burner account, Twitter burner account that a lot of people speculated was Malachi's. Seemed like it was Malachi's. It was liking all of Malachi posts. It was constantly defending him in a weird way. I believe that the account had just popped up out of nowhere when when Malachi Branham got called out for the account disappeared all of a sudden. It was probably his. And some of his responses were just kind of yucky, like people would say Malachi isn't that good, and his response would be, get your money up. You don't have money. Like it was just that constantly over and over to all these different people. So it wasn't a lot of humility there. Not to say if people talking trash about you that you need to be like kind or whatever, but it was never pertaining to like basketball. It was always personal, right? It was always like weird personal stuff. So I think that was him. It was never confirmed, so allegedly, right? But I think that was him. At the very least, somebody really close to him defending him. That was kind of strange. Always bringing up people's money. I don't know. What a creep who does that. You'll be surprised. There's a lot of people that make burner accounts to stick up for themselves. Kevin Durant did it. I think Kevin Durant got caught because he accidentally commented on his actual account and didn't realize, it wasn't his burner. But yeah. So anyways, just want to show you this. The Aaron Fox is crazy about him. And if he wants him on the team, I think he's going to be on the team.